Hey, welcome to Shake Talk with Barbie Lee. Today is Wednesday and it's Shake Talk Day. And this is going to be a candid conversation. So if you're one of those that are squeamish around the conversation about death, you may not want to listen today. Having said that, my little intro, this is where we shake up your wake up. We have real conversations. We share my shake in the morning. I'm having a chocolate mint again this morning, my Isogenic Isoline shake, and chocolate milk vanilla. So shake up your wake up, change your breakfast, change your life, right? So yesterday, everything changed, right? So I did a shake talk in the morning, and I told you about my day before. And yesterday, my grandmother passed, and I call it transitioned, right? So because she's transitioned. Good morning. And it's been really fascinating to watch what's going on in the family dynamics and friends. Thank you for everybody that posted condolences on my Facebook page or my Facebook wall. It's funny, I get as many condolences as I do birthday wishes. So it really made me think this morning about this whole circle of life and death, right? So today we're going to have a frank conversation about death. So good morning, Nilu. So my grandmother was 92, 9 months, and 7 days. Okay, so 92, 9 months, and 7 days. And it was quite funny because after I posted yesterday, I said she was 92 and a half. Had her little voice in the back of my head. She goes, I wasn't 92 and a half. I was 92 and 9 months. Because that's my grandma. So thank you, Nilu. So this whole death thing, like what's up with it, right? There's been some suicides in the news lately, and people are just being people. Okay, so here's my take on this whole death thing. We are born knowing we're going to die. We know it. It's never a surprise. The timing might be a surprise, but the whole dying is not a surprise. We are born and we die. And then we have this life in between, right? There's a beautiful thing called the dash, right? And it's what do you do with that dash in between your birthday and your death day, So a lot of people, Jessica says, people don't really know what to do with death usually. I know, and it's so weird because it's death. We all go through it. Everybody around us goes through it. It is one absolutely certain thing we all have in common is death, right? Good job, Neela. I was just saying that. So I have been for the last year, 2 years, year and a bit, whatever, really interested in getting all my financials in order. And I've been doing it all along, right? Is making sure that all my paperwork is in order, making sure that if something happens, making sure that if something happened to me, my girls or whoever's left behind knows exactly what to do, where my will is, how to cancel my cable. I don't have cable, cancel my internet, and how to take care of things. And that's a really important thing to do. And it's a really important thing to have the money in place to pay for all your final arrangements, pay for all your final taxes. I'm actually going to do some talk. Let's talk about death sessions. Actually, we're not going to talk about death. We're going to talk about getting prepared for death, and just have some real conversations with people and getting things in order. But that's a whole other side. Anyway, so I'm really interested in making sure that I'm not leaving a mess when I leave. Now, last July, my grandmother and I spent the Canada Day long weekend going through everything. We sat down, we updated her will. I found out where all her bank accounts were. We made a record of, we took the last 4 digits of the bank account, we put the bank name and the bank phone number, and, we called the bank and said, what do we do if this happens? And they said, oh, you do this. And we're like, okay. And we jotted it down. And so I took care of all of that for my grandma. And we did that last year, knowing that, she was then 92 and a bit, right? So it's all taken care of. So literally all my mom has to do today, my mom and my Auntie Jo, is, they called the funeral home yesterday. My grandmother already arranged for her plot. She's had one since my grandfather died. I think my grandfather died when I was 16. So, 30 years she's had her plot. Um, she has her tombstone done. She already bought her casket. She already knows the church she is. We've already put the money aside to pay the priest. Like everything was taken care of. So now mom and the rest of her brothers and sisters that are still living and all the nieces and nephews can just relax knowing that everything's kind of taken care of. Now there's still work to be done, don't get me wrong, because, CRA wants their income tax and stuff. But my grandmother and I gave everybody that gift of just taking care of it so that nobody had to worry about where's this, where's that, what do I have to do? How do I cancel her CWL membership? It's already there. So this death thing is going to happen to each and every one of us, right? It'll be a surprise for most when it does happen. I always say I'm going to live to 123 and I'm going to be dancing and some man named Juan is going to be dipping me and I'm just going to go, and I'm just going to die and it's going to be fabulous, right? Because that's how I'm going to live. I'm going to die the same way I live, which is in every moment as full as I possibly can. So this whole, what is this death thing? The thing is, it's certain. It's going to happen. So what are you doing to prepare those around you? Right? So I've talked to both of my daughters. I did this because I pointed on the phone because that's how I've talked to my kids. We have been talking about death. My kids know what my wishes are and my husband's wishes. We all have a will. We all know where all the papers are and everything. They also know that in May, beginning of June, that they said goodbye to their Baba. They know that. And they know that they had expected that obviously when they were gone this summer doing what they love, that their Baba was going to pass away. So we had good conversations. They knew it. They're sad. They're happy that she's no longer, because my grandmother for the last 10 years, every time she gets up, she goes, "Oh, Jesus, take me now." That's what she did. Every time she got, "Oh, Jesus, take me now." Because that's my grandma. So when I said, Jesus got you, baby, it's all good, right? And people think I'm weird because I'm laughing and smiling. And it's a little bit sad about my grandma because I'm trying to think, what was her favorite ice cream? I try to remember. I know she loved that Tiger ice cream, so I'm going to go with Tiger ice cream. But I'm going to ask my cousin Shauna because Shauna was the one who did a lot of her shopping. But I'm sure it was Tiger ice cream. Anyway, so there'll be things like that show up. But at the end of the day, death is inevitable. And she gave her family the best gift ever, which is getting everything in order, making her peace with whoever needed to make her peace with. A lot of us visited her in the hospital, and she played crib, and she wanted someone to fix her hair, just stuff. It's good, right? So she's at peace. She's at rest. And that's how I want to die, is at peace and at rest, not rushing around trying to get everything done. A friend of mine is helping his friend go through the process of, he was just diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. He has businesses, he has kids, he has 2 homes. He's got a home and a vacation home, a couple of cars, a couple of, recreational vehicles, bank accounts in different places. And this man is very sick with his cancer, and he's now rushing to get his stuff done so his wife doesn't have to when he dies. Is that how you want to spend your last few months? Rushing around to get your stuff done because you were too freaking lazy to do it when you were healthy? I hope not. I hope not. Don't look at death as something that's sad and horrible and keep it hidden off to the side. Look at it as it's a rite of passage. It's a transition. It's, whatever your religious or spiritual belief is, your time in the next world, whatever it is. But for goodness gracious sakes, you do not want to die and have everybody say, Barbie Lee. And my name then becomes Barbie Lee. You don't want that. I want everyone to go, thanks, Mom. Thanks, babe. Thanks, Barbie Lee. We've got this. Thanks for taking care of everything. Thanks for making sure nothing new or different showed up in our world other than, the dear loss of me, right? Neela says, it's sad for us because we will miss them. Don't make it anything more than that. I think most people try to imagine how they felt in their final moments in their physical body and try to come up with the worst ever experience. I get it. And to me, and death is very selfish, because I know that my grandmother, she's been in pain. Now, she's loved her morphine, but she's been in pain these last few days. And I know she's no longer in pain, right? And she is in whatever place she believes, and she believes it's Jesus and heaven, and that's great. And that's where she is, and that's where she's going to be, and she will live happily ever after in the afterlife, and that's great for her. So whatever it is for her. For us back here, it's selfish to be sad because it's about us, right? And that's okay. It's okay to be selfish and say, oh, I really wish she was still here, you know? Or we can say, how can I remember her? How can I honor her? Whatever it is, right? So I was thinking this morning, my grandmother loves soup. I'm going to have soup today. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have soup today. So what's up with this death thing? It's happening. It's coming. It's a part of life. Don't hide from it. Don't push it aside. Don't push it down and pretend like, oh, it's a bad thing. Stand up, take responsibility for your life, knowing that in death, you've taken care of things. I think then you can rest in peace. Seriously. Have a great day.